Alright, y'all, we're back. Bumper's halfway off. Yeah, only because I had to get to this little hose. 1-inch hose right here in this hard pipe and disconnect those. So, remove this intercooler. Pretty easy. This will go along with the rest of the piping and everything. So, since I'm getting rid of this, I'm going to be making another one. Alright, we got this guy. Got to put intercooler in that guy. I think we talked about it in our last videos. So, I have some ideas on how I'm going to make fit and what I would like to make fit. Obviously, you got this intercooler. Big bitch. It's like 6 by 5.5. It's a tight fit. Alright, I got some alpha locks. Okay. Alpha locks are pretty fucking cool. The only downside to them is one side has to stay on, right? Like once I weld this on here, right, the clamp is stuck there forever until I cut things off. So pretty cool. I literally got them because I just thought they looked cool and I like the way they function. You know, you just bring the pipe together, twist, locks in place. There's a little spring in here. There's a wave spring in here that pushes up against the other flange, which then subsequently pushes against this flange when it's locked in place, and it keeps the tabs locked into the circle there. So pretty cool. Kind of a bitch to get apart when you're like this because you have to grip one side while pushing on the collar and twisting, but once they're installed on something solid like an engine, no problems. So got those cool things. Got a spare throttle body. All right, so I'm gonna trim this just a little bit. I want to say it's like 1 millimeter all around, or 1.5 millimeter all around, so that the flange will drop on there because it's just so slightly. When I measured it with a caliper, it's just so slightly too big. So I'll take a little Dremel to that, go around the edge a little bit till it drops on. Be good there. All right. Also from LPS, I got these cool little 2.5 to 2.5 by 1.5 inch runners. All right, they're conveniently cut in half, so that saves me time in fabrication. So I will make these. I'll hack this off, cut 4-inch by 4-inch all the way around. I'll splay this out like so, so it covers that 4-inch opening. Obviously fill in the gap with some extra sheet metal I got, and that'll take care of that. This is a 45-degree curve, so that'll allow me some clearance down there by the fender well, and then clearance the headlight and all that stuff. So all that will fit. So that's what happens on one end. On the other end, it gets hacked off, and the 3.5 inch will go on the other end of the intercooler. Cool. For the water inlets, it's 3/4 inch NPT. I'm just gonna hack those off. I got this 1-inch pipe to go along with my 1-inch hose that I have laying around. So that'll do that. And all right, so also that will be part of the intercooler. I haven't quite decided how I'm gonna do the water pipe sections yet. All right, so I can't remember if this came with intercooler or I had to order it separate, but whatever. You know, radiator cap, doodad. Right. Comes with this big ass setup. Same thing as my old intercooler. I just hacked this part off and then welded it to the top of the cooler. In this case, since this will be sitting at an angle, roughly like that, you know, I probably could still get away with that because it's pretty much the highest point. So I probably will. And then for the other side, I haven't decided. See, that's not going to fit there. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to implement the rest of the circuit. So I'll think about it a little bit more on that. But moving on to the car. This guy over here. So on the car, this is the space that I'm working with, right? So there's the headlight in place. This is the space I'm working with. I have the factory airbox mounting location. It's these two holes right here, which they just pop in. So what I'll probably do is just make a straight bar, because I have some aluminum stock laying around. And with that aluminum stock, so I got aluminum stock like this, but straight. This one's just some scrap I have laying around. So it'll get cut, bam, bam. I have some 1/2-inch aluminum tube here that I got from the stove. So that'll get welded to the bottom. So those will act like feet. It'll drop into the holes. I'll put hose, like I'll take like some coolant hose or something to go around this to make up the extra space. So basically it'll be like rubber feet down here supported by aluminum. So that's the plan there. From there, I'll weld a straight bar on one side, straight bar on the other. Those will bolt to the side of the intercooler. That'll hold that at the appropriate height along with the actual piping that goes there. So that'll hold it up. The angle will be formed actually by the pipe, and those clamps that I have are very rigid. So I have no concerns there. But the movement will be allowed here with a little bit of rubber flex and stuff that sit on the feet. So that's that. That 45-degree section will come out probably about right around here. And then here's the pipe from underneath the car right here. So I'll make a piece that traces along here, down to that pipe. Good to go. We'll see how this plans out. It all sounds great in my head. I've been thinking about it all week, how I'm going to do it. You know, not to mention moving these fuel lines. Yeah, so I have to buy some more hose for the return so I can put those where I want. And other than that, it should be pretty good. So once that's all in place, should go pretty smooth. I'll unbolt that throttle body. That'll go with the turbo kit, the old kit that I'm selling. So if anyone's interested, fucking get it. Like, get it. Buy the kit. Buy the kit. So let's get started. Right, got myself a little bit of old ass hose, put on my feet. Slide that bitch in here like it. Go. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Bam, boys. See that shit? Boy, stop. Alright, get your ass in here. There we go. So, this guy sits like that. Okay, y'all, we're back. A couple things we gotta get done. A lot of things we gotta get done. So, when I left off last night, I fitted this up so I know it's in there. Right? It's on rubber feet plus aluminum feet, so it allows it some movement. Pretty much once I put the LPS clamps on here and everything, it'll be locked in with the motor, with the flex being here, and then down at the boost pipe, there's a coupler down there, so it allows some flex there, so it's not completely rigid against the car. So now I have to make the transition to go from there to here. That's going to be fun. I'm going to hack this off. I'm going to take my, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to take my fill head here, take it over to my bandsaw, cut that off. I already kind of started with the blade that I had. I had to go get a different blade. Wasn't quite doing it. It was worn out. So anyway, so that will kind of level up like right here to take the place of that. I got to drill like a 1-inch hole somewhere around there for this guy. You know, I'll hack that off and I'll weld the flange directly to that. What else? I got paint. You can see I went with a hammered black metal. So that'll be a little different. Most people go with wrinkle. I wanted something a little bit different. So we'll do that. And yeah, I got a fitting for the bottom, a 3/4 inch MPT to 1-inch barb for the hose that goes underneath the headlight to the heat exchanger and the water pump and all that. So that'll go there. And this will be ready to ride. Obviously, I'll make a 3.5-inch pipe here. I'll add in my IAT sensor there, and I'll add in a little port for my boost reading for the map sensor. So that's about it. So let's get started with cut. Alright, so to make the transition here from 2.5 to basically a 5x6 square rectangle, sorry. Taking these guys, they'll splay out around the corner here. I took my caliper and I measured out where this is actually 2.5. So I'll go ahead and cut those off. That way the flange can sit down on there. Put a little tacky tack there to kind of hold it together. I'll splay them out some. Then as far as down here goes, that's where it's going to get a little difficult. Lean this forward. Down here, where this splays out, I'm looking at like a 4-inch width down there at the bottom. So I'm kind of questioning to myself, you know, where I'm going to tie these in, or how I'm going to tie these in, whether they'll be welded to this part of the cooler, or they'll be welded down here, well, basically to the end tank part of the cooler. Once I cut all that off, kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. So do the easy part first. I'll go ahead and hack these lines. And then I'll take the cooler out. I'll hack the ends off. And yeah, we'll kind of do what Q does best and figure it the fuck out. Yeah. All right. Using my fancy bandsaw and a little bit of trigonometry. I'll just basically cut 7 degrees. Blah, 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 blah. That should give me around about 4 inches. Close for your ass, plus or minus. All right. So that'll sit on there somehow, and it's upside down. So this will go around like that, like this. This will go like this. And then it's really just how I tie that shit together at that point. So, yeah. Guess I should get started on that. Alright, so we're back. It's Sunday. Made some filler plates to fill this in. Used a half-inch round to kind of make a nice little smooth transition here, as opposed to a flat plate. Air likes to kind of wrap corners a little bit. Yeah, so Where did I put you? I'll just put you down. There you go. So I got this cover, right? Bent it to kind of. So this is 1/16. This shit's like 1/4 inch thick or so, 3/8 to 1/4. So I'm trying to basically flush it down with the bottom edge. So I'll have some of that I'll, whatever, it'll get filled in with weld. Then I just got to close in that little gap there, and then obviously on the other side. Crude, but effective. I tried to maintain the 1 1/4 inch space here. That's why this bend is in that. Kind of maintain that distance there so it doesn't all of a sudden shrink down before it makes the curve. So he'll do that. See how this fits. I tied this down just to kind of keep this from pulling anywhere in case I accidentally knock it or something. Does fine. Yeah, so we're almost done with this. It's so much fun making those fillers. Fitment check! Yeah! Ta-da! A little close to the coil pack. I put this down there just to make sure that I have ample space when I set all this in place. I will probably fold this in half. Pretty loose fit. Probably fold this in half. That way I have double the space. Same thing with this fuel on here. Luckily this stainless right here does bend a little bit, so I can move it just a smidge. Just so I have a little bit better clearance here between this here clamp. These things are pretty cool. I like these. I quite literally bought them because they look cool. and they were like $30, $40 cheaper than the Vibrant ones. Now, these take a little bit more effort to remove them. But putting them on is a fucking cinch. But to remove them, you push and you turn. Ta-da! And I dropped it, and it's all the way down here. Right. To put them on, yes, they have O-rings that go in them. They're not on right now. Put them on. Done. All right. So a little push. Oops. A little push. In the opposite direction. And then comes off. So I thought that was pretty cool. Vibrant has the one with the pin. Right. I got one that was on my old throttle body. And then Vibrant has the one that has a little clasp fit and spring loaded that goes like that. Now that's fucking cool. Those have movement. Like they can articulate a little bit in and out. Yeah, I want to say it's 10 degrees movement. These don't have movement. These hold this bitch in place. So where I set it is where it's at. That's part of the reason why down here I have a coupler down here on the pipe that goes behind the engine. And these are sitting in rubber feet. So this can move a little bit if it needs to. The mounts I have, BFI mounts, engine really doesn't move any. So we're good with that. Cool. So yeah, all right. So things to do: tack this collar on, or just weld the whole fucking flange on to the intercooler. Build the pipe to go here first. Hack this dude off. Weld on the thermostat, or excuse me, the radiator cap housing doodad. So I cut that at an angle so it sits relatively straight up and down. I kind of eyeballed it, so it's not quite, but it's close enough. And because of that angle, I left about that much of the inlet. This thing had thread-in inlets on both sides, so this is like this. This will sit like this. I gotta grind a little bit of that out of it, so this sits in there nice and flush. This will be my inlet / fill point. So then I just have to redo the hose here that goes down past the alternator into my water pump, which will then connect to the end of this. Boom. As far as underneath, it'll just take a standard 3/4 inch to 1 inch barb fitting, 90. I tried to find this in brass because I prefer brass, but all I could find was nylon. There's a lot of shit in here that's fucking nylon, so I'm not really worried about it. This is a low heat, low pressure water system, so I'm not too concerned with it. Eventually I will replace it with brass because, you know, my mind's going to be like, I got something down in this plastic. But that'll thread into the bottom, throw a little bit of RTV on it, tighten it up, and the hose for that goes underneath my headlight. So shaping up. It is a little tight over here once I built out the box. Luckily, these AC lines have these little rubber doodads to keep things from rubbing on them. So it is pressed a little bit there, but there's just enough room. Thank goodness. Yeah, I was really concerned with this. I got about what I wanted, which was a finger's distance between the intercooler and the bottom of the clamp. And it just so clears in this open area right here. So cool, kudos to me. I actually made that work. Yeah, so I'll situate this first to fix this. I'll cut this off. I'll weld this guy on. I'll add a pipe, my little crack pipe. Oh yeah. And I'll thread this guy in. And I think we'll be in a good spot. Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. So we're ready to do the piping from intercooler to throttle body and from under the car to the intercooler. Last night I discovered that the piping, or where the flange sits on the intercooler in relation to its height, is too close to the hood. It clears the hood, it doesn't hit the hood, but it's right in front of the webbing that supports the hood. So sure, I could just cut that webbing out of the way and I'll be good to go with my pipe, but I'd rather not. I've made it this far without having to completely chop up the car. I don't know, something about cutting under the hood, I just don't want to do it. Don't mind me, I'm not a full race car guy, I guess. I'm just not qualified. Meanwhile, you got motherfuckers cutting holes in their hoods and doing external dumps and all that, but not this guy, right? So, got do a little bit of modification. Unfortunately, I'd already fully welded the flange up because I didn't account for that. So now I have to cut the flange off the front of the intercooler. I'm going to take my 3.5-inch 180 and I'm going to go ahead and cut it at a 30 degree. There's many ways to go about doing this. As far as, you know, you can 3D print fucking shells that go over this that'll automatically divvy up everywhere you need to mark. For me, I just got the circumference of half a circle. And then I said, okay, we'll divide that by degrees. And I said, okay, it's like 1.8 inches per 15 degrees. 2 of those, draw your line, you're done. A little bit of math. Then I just got to trace that down with the bandsaw and we'll be good to go. So let's get started. Deberto, where'd you go? Oh yeah, right here. Put shit in the weirdest places, guys. Alright, the intake snake is looking decent. Hopefully I didn't take off too much on this piece, and I didn't. I fucking eyeballed it. And we are in there like swimwear, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck yeah. Alright, let's make the last pipe. Based on my eyeball measurements, I need something like that. Right. This motherfucker right here is so close. Like, it follows the contour of this hood so fucking close, but it's not hitting. Now, I got pretty sturdy fucking mounts in here, so I'll keep an eye on it. But damn, I'd say I could fit like this thick, a few sheets of paper between the hood and that fucking pipe. We're gonna roll with that, because I do want to keep that transition. Worst case, I kind of heat this up and flatten out right here a little bit, but I'll keep an eye on it. I don't have much engine movement. I just want to know what this angle is. Go. This angle right here is myself this ugly ass one real quick. Then I traced it onto a fucking curve like so it looks smoother. It doesn't look so janky. Alright, we are in there like swimwear again. Alright, got that tacked in place. Come here, camera. Okay, this is what I'm working with. It's down in there. So that bottom pipe does have movement, so I just have to basically get a marker down there and get a slash on it, and then just kind of be like, alright, cool. Let's tack it in place. Take it off the car and hope for the best. Okay. I got a mark on it. Got a mark. Now, can I pull it out? There we go. There we go. And we're gonna hope that this actually plays nice. It should be really fucking close. Bam! That's underneath the car. Let's tack this bitch in place. All right, y'all, that's it. All the welding's done. All the fabrication is done. Only thing I gotta do now is just hook up the water lines. So thread a fitting in the bottom, run a longer line for the inlet, and paint. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with it. I managed to get rid of all the 90s, which was pretty cool. The only 90 on this entire setup is at the turbo. So, you know, every 90 is a restriction. Granted, yes, it's pretty much a 180 entering the intercooler. It's right at that 180, it expands out all the way. So, you know, that in itself helps drop some of that restriction. Yeah, but yeah, should be pretty good. Didn't go exactly according to plan, but most things don't. You know, I'd rather have had the idea of being able to disconnect that whole big pipe as one piece, but, you know, because it was so close to the hood, it just wasn't happening. So it is what it is. Changing that number 4 spark plug won't happen without removing the intercooler. Sucks to suck, but I got iridiums in there. They're brand new, so they should last me quite a few thousand miles. You know, 50,000 miles on those plugs with the current tune. Yeah, it's completely possible. So they were gapped down tight to 0.21, and yeah. So overall, that's it. So thank you for tuning into the series. I'm gonna go ahead and paint all this stuff up and get it all pretty. And yeah, so stay tuned to videos of driving, because that's all I put on my channel. I lied. Forgot about the temperature sensor.